Fly ball onto the track, at the wall, it's gone! Home run!
Turns on a ball, deep right field, and gone!
What a game, what a moment. What is up, my friends? Welcome into this episode of Flippin Bats, which is This Week in Shohei Ohtani News. Alex, we had one earlier today. We had a really good first Tuesday episode of the day. So if anybody hasn't checked that out, they should go check that out.
Oh, definitely. And this is also going to be a great episode because we've missed Shohei Ohtani on the mound for a week, and he's coming back.
We have some news about that. So to get there, it is time, my friends, for my favorite segment of all time, This Week in Shohei Ohtani News. We're going to talk about his most recent home run, which was a grand slam, and then some just crazy statistical category that puts the Los Angeles Angels in after that game. Shohei is expected to make his next start on the mound. We'll talk all about that. And the Angels calling up their first round pick from about a month ago. Absolutely crazy, Alex. But we'll start with that 43rd home run a few days ago.
Monster grand slam.
Grand slam, huge grand slam for the lead for the Angels, and it now tied that home run tied him with Matt Olson for the MLB league lead again. Man, the guy is I just feel like, Alex, last year when we got what we got from Aaron Judge, like everybody's mindset shifted from like, wow, 50 is a crazy number to 60 is a crazy number. No. It's late August. It's not even September. And Shohei is at 43 homers. Absolutely wild.
So do we think Shohei Ohtani will get to 60 home runs this season?
I don't know. We talked about it.
We did, but I'm still going to keep asking it
I
because
don't
it's
think
like
so.
Both him and Olson are on an insane pace that one of them, if they keep it up, could get there. Could be close.
I would love to see it.
What do you think he'll end with?
I don't think either of them get there. And Shohei is really hurt by, there's some more news that came out regarding Mike Trout that returned still uncertain on timing, and he was still feeling a little bit of pain in his wrist.
Yeah, he's not coming back.
And that hurts Shohei in terms of what he sees at the plate every at bat when he doesn't have Mike Trout behind him. So I don't think Shohei is going to get to 60, but that's not the number for me. That's become like, can he get to 60? If he gets to 50 homers, it is absolutely mind-boggling. I think Shohei ends up somewhere. It's August, 22nd. I'm going to say 53 to 55.
I mean, he hit 15 home runs in a month.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
Possible.
It is possible.
It is possible. I'm going to say between 55 and 60. He's going to be in that range. It's going to be close, and it's going to be exciting. But
I hope he gets to 80.
Oh, okay.
I hope he gets to 60. I do.
I hope and wish that the Angels were winning games and playing better so we could see Shohei Ohtani play in the postseason.
And I think it's the month you're talking about is not this month.
No.
Mike Trout is out now, and the pace of homers has understandably slowed because people just aren't pitching to Shohei. And that's my reasoning behind it all. If Shohei was if Mike Trout was playing, I believe Shohei would be at 50 home runs already. And I believe he would have, I believe Shohei could have broken Aaron Judge's record from last year. I really do believe that. But unfortunately, it's unfortunate for everybody. It sucks for Mike Trout. Of course, it's just terrible for everybody. It sucks for the Angels, but it also sucks for Shohei as well because he just doesn't have the protection of, and that's no discredit to everybody else. Mike Trout is just Mike Trout.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have that protection, and it has cost him, certainly cost him a good bit of homers, I think.
Yeah. We got to talk about that game, though, because after that grand slam, you're like, wow, oh my gosh, I think the Angels have it. Then they have a triple play. You're like, oh my God, this is so exciting. And what happens?
Well, they
lose it. They lose it.
They lost a game, Alex, in which Shohei hit a go-ahead grand slam, and they turned a triple play in the ninth inning. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, that sounds a little crazy. You would be right, because the Angels are the first team since 1857 to lose in extras with a triple play and a grand slam. 1857.
I'm
Alex.
pulling out my calculator. I'm like, how many years ago is that? We're in 2023.
It's 100 and
minus 1857. 166 years ago. That's bad.
166 years.
That's bad.
Since what happened to the Angels has happened in baseball history.
I mean, even when things like look so great and there's hope and you have the best player on your team doing one of the greatest things you can do at the plate, and then one of the greatest defensive things you can do, and then you still can't win. It just adds to our point that we talk about, I think, every week. It's the greatness of Shohei Ohtani and what he's doing continues to get overshadowed by the Angels' inability to finish and win games.
It's going to be an interesting conversation at some point, and maybe it's next week. That time is coming soon, and I'm interested in everybody else's opinion here as well. And I'll put together some thoughts when we do have this conversation. But Shohei is on the cusp of making over $500 million, $600+ million. The conversation is going to become, at what point
does he sit out?
Does he shut it down?
To not
and
get
not
hurt.
A single soul on the entire planet will blame him.
No, but also, is it in his DNA to do that? It would have to be his agent and someone else convincing him to be, hey, the team's out of it. There's nothing more that you can do in this moment for this team. This would be a stat building situation if you want to keep this going. But also, you need to be healthy when you become a free agent in a couple months.
Yeah. So when I officially cancel the Angels, we will have that discussion.
That's just so brutal to be out with a month left in the season.
Yankees are out. Yankees are canceled. They were the 10th team.
Yeah. Well, Ohtani's expected to start tomorrow against the Reds after, which we also did not blame him, skipping a start due to arm fatigue because he's been overworked.
Yeah. Actually, before we get to this next start, I think I should clarify what the canceling means to the this audience. If you haven't been listening,
fair.
A couple days ago, I started canceling teams. If their season's done, if I think your season's over, canceled 9 teams originally. And then on Monday.
Yesterday.
Yesterday. The Yankees were officially the 10th team canceled, which is wild that that's happening. So if you hear it and you're like, what do you mean, Ben canceled? Yeah, it just means you're done. Season's over. Moving on.
Yeah.
And the Angels I have not done them yet, but.
Yeah, and they were on the verge when we did the original. I think I asked you, are there teams on the verge? You said yes, and I think it was the Yankees and the Angels, and Yankees, sped up to that real quick, losing 8 in a row.
Got swept by the Red Sox. And I think I said the Angels are on the verge of the verge.
Of the verge of the verge.
The verge of the verge. So they're getting closer and closer. But one thing that certainly helps the team is Shohei being back on the mound, and that is expected to be the case. So all said and done, one start that was missed on the mound. He's supposed to be back against the Reds on Wednesday, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see what some... You can't even say time off. He hit in the game he was supposed to pitch. He hit a home. No,
he was just being a regular player opposed to a two-way player.
But time off for what he's used to. Yeah. And now we get to see him back on the mound. So that is a good thing for him and the sport of baseball and us for this week in Ohtani.
And hopefully he does start tomorrow. Yeah. It's always probables, but I mean, it's looking like he should be back on the mound.
Yeah, and it's something I think was needed because it felt like every single start. It was, okay, he threw well or he was removed. He threw well but had to be removed early because of fingernail, blister, cramping, just something going on. So I think the little break, thankfully it wasn't injury related. It was just fatigue. Yeah. So he is expected to be back, which is a good thing.
That is a great thing. The Angels had some more exciting things that happened in that game where there was a grand slam and a triple play, and then they lost the game. They also called up their first-round draft pick.
Alex, one thing is for sure. When you look back on the Los Angeles Angels 2023 season, we will remember a couple of things. One, Shohei Ohtani established himself as the greatest player in the history of baseball.
Yep.
Two, the Angels went for it. I mean,
and it worked.
Nobody can doubt that the Angels went for it in 2023. They became buyers at the trade deadline. They went out and added a bunch of people that blew up immediately in their face. It has not gone well. And then they called up their first round pick, Nolan Schanuel, from just over a month ago, July 9th.
It was when we were at the All-Star game.
When we were at the All-Star game. July 9th, he was drafted in the first round to become a professional baseball player. And the Angels call him up to the big leagues just a few days after that. And not only that, he was leading off in his debut, hitting first in front of Shohei Ohtani in his Major League debut just a couple of months after he was playing Conference USA baseball in college. It is remarkable. I love it. I went into detail on this on Monday. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Mm-hmm. And I also, this is a bit for the Angels, for this move specifically, it's a bit of a panic move. Mm-hmm. But I love in general when you have top draft picks, Division I, 21-year-old guys coming out of a Division I college that are already close to big league ready. And then you give them that chance and you call them up. You see all these guys. You see guys coming over from Latin countries, the Dominican, Cuba, Venezuela, and they come over at sometimes 16 years old. They go through the system, and you see them become big leaguers at 19 or 20. Well, these guys are going through a college experience, and they come out 21 years old. So I don't want that to become like a bad thing where you're already, that means you're not getting to the big leagues till you're 24 or 25. No, if you have these top picks and they prove that they're ready in the minor leagues, give them that chance. And the Angels, again, though it was a bit of a panic move, they are all in and they are trying, but I love it. But it is crazy to me that this guy was playing college baseball 2 months ago, and now he looks up at a lineup card and he's hitting first in front of Shohei Ohtani. Just imagine that. Imagine that.
You got to imagine, though, that it also, because it happened so fast, you don't really have time to freak out or process it. You just kind of have to, okay, this is what I've worked my entire life for. Muscle memory. I know I'm great. I know I'm supposed to be here. Just go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure.
And Shohei's so nice. I'm sure he made him feel so welcomed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure feeling welcomed wasn't the issue. I would have been, though, when you step on the lines and you step into a box and you realize they're all 60 feet, 6 inches away. Yep. I've faced 95 to 100 for a long time in my life now. Well, for him, maybe not a long time, but maybe a month in the minors. College guys don't typically throw 100. Some do. But you get out there, you cross the lines, and there are tons of nerves, but you step in the box against somebody that's 60 feet, 6 inches away and realize that pitcher has been 60 feet, 6 inches away from me since I was 15 years old. Yeah. And it's just so cool, though. What a cool experience.
I'm pumped for him. And I wish Nolan the best.
Yeah. And it started off great.
Continue crushes.
Had a hit in every game of that first series of him. I mean, it was really cool. Good for him. Good for the Angels. Yeah. I mean,
you got to find the positives when things aren't going well.
It's not working, but they're going for it.
You got to focus on the positives, which is they made the right call calling up Nolan, and you got Shohei Ohtani back on the mound tomorrow.
That's going for it. The good
that's
for them.
Positive.
That does it for my favorite segment this week in Shohei Ohtani news. And Alex, that does it until tomorrow when we have Gunnar Henderson. Speaking of young rookie studs, Gunnar Henderson, absolute stud, joins me tomorrow for a really, really fun conversation about him and his journey and the Orioles and how good they are, and a prediction from himself on who wins Rookie of the Year award.
Does he say himself?
You're going to have to listen, Alex.
Gosh, gotta try.
You're going to have to listen.
I had to try.
You did.
Yeah.
But that does it, my friends, for the second of two Tuesday episodes. Two Tuesdays. Okay. I'll brainstorm off. You don't have to hear me rambling about tutus for too long. That does it for this one. Until tomorrow, my friends, thank you all for listening. Make sure you're subscribed wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple or Spotify. Subscribe, follow, whatever you do. It really helps. We're also on all social media, including YouTube, where you can watch every single thing that we do at Flippin Bats Pod for all of them. Until tomorrow, my friends, this has been another episode of Flippin Bats. Peace.